to explore Bhagavad-Gita, at the same time introduce this. So for some of you, it may look a little simple talk, and for others, it may be a little overwhelming because I may be chanting some of the verses from Bhagavad-Gita. And the idea of today's central theme is GITA, Gita, Gita in today's action, or Gita in today's activity, and then our social interaction. So let me salute Ganesha, Mother Saraswati, and all the gurus. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Sabhayai Namaha. That's the assembly here, Sabha. And Shri Matre Namaha, Go Matre Namaha, Gita Matre Namaha. Salutations to Mother and Mother of all, especially today being the Mother's Day. And Go Mata is not only the mother cow, but also Go means Veda, Veda Mata. And then Go means Bhumi, Bhumata. And Gita Mata. So 3 mothers there, as you could see. And Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha, the father of all creatures. And it's customary to say this verse that let both of us, the teacher and the taught, or the speaker and the heard, be protected. And may we both enjoy. And then may we bring out the best in all of us. And may we express our splendor with the knowledge and wisdom that we gain, and let there not be any differences between us. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace be from above. Peace be around us, and peace be within us. These are some of the great gurus who taught me directly or indirectly, and this is a time to salute them, most of them directly. And today is Shankara Jayanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat-pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Shankara means Shamkaroti iti Shamkaraha. The one who does good to this world selflessly. And we all belong to the lineage of Narayana or Sadashiva. So Sadashiva Samarambham, Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Paramparam. Starting with Narayana, then to Vyasa Maharshi, then Shankaracharya, and then our Acharyas. We salute the Guru lineage. And this is a Dhyana Shloka for Bhagavad-Gita study. There are about 9 or 10 of them, and they are compiled, they're put together by some great sages. And then some say Madhusudana Saraswati. And conventionally, these are chanted before we study Bhagavad-Gita. But today, for the sake of time, we'll just chant this very first verse. And let me ask Vaishali-ji to chant this, and then we will revel in this verse for a few minutes.
Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी.
Thank you. Amba. Amba means, hey mother. Tvam anusandhadhami. I shall practice what you preach, what you teach. O Bhagavad-Gita, O Mother Bhagavad-Gita. Bhavadveshini, the one who can dispel the shackles of the mundane world's problems. So bhava means samsara. In this worldly life, the problems of daily living. And who is the teacher and who is the taught? Arthaya pratibodhitam. Pratibodhitam. Bodhitam, teaching. Pratibodhitam, directly, like one-on-one. And then when asked, by who and for who? Partha. So to Arjuna, for Arjuna, when asked, one-on-one, teacher Krishna. And who is that? Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam. By Bhagavan, Narayana himself, who incarnated as Sri Krishna Parabrahma. And who is this Partha? Partha is Arjuna. Prutha Putra. Mother's name is Prutha. Kunti Devi. Kaunteya, we say. Then Pandarajaputra, Pandava, we say. And Arjuna is his given name. Arjuna means Rujutvat Arjuna, the one who is so straightforward. Trikarana Shuddhi in what he thinks and what he says and what he does. And Prutha Putra. So Kunti's another name was Prutha. So we all are Parthas also, because we all are Prithvi Putras. So Mother Earth, we are born, whoever is born on this Mother Earth, that is Partha, he or she. And the teacher is none other than Bhagavan Narayana. And who has penned it down and then gave us this great book? Vyasena Grathitam. And who is that Vyasa? Vyasa's original name was Krishna Dvaipayana. Krishna Dvaipayana, because he was born on Krishna Dvipa. Krishna means dark, black. Dvipa means island. And Purana Muni, Purana the ancient, Muni Manana Shilaha Muni, the one who is a great contemplator. And Vyasa, the title given to him, because he compiled, edited, and gave us the Vedas, dividing them into 4. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharvana Veda. So that's why he's called Veda Vyasa. And where did he put this? Madhye Mahabharatam, in the midst of the great text, Mahabharata. And this Bhagavad-Gita is Advaita Amrita Varshini, the one who can rain the nectar of non-dualism. Non-dualism means the one which teaches that you are that, thou art that, tat tvam asi. And Bhagavati, Bhagavan and Bhagavati, Bhagavan is Pullinga, masculine, Bhagavati is Strilinga, feminine. So Bhaga Shabda is a very profound word. The one who has great 6 qualities. And those great 6 qualities are Aishwaryasya samagrasya, dharmasya yashasya shriyah, jnana vairagyayoschaiva, shanna bhaga iterina. So samagra Aishwarya, all the prosperity, all the riches. Dharma, yashas, fame. Shriya, the opulence. Jnana, the knowledge and the wisdom. At the same time, vairagya, dispassion, a selflessness, with no selfish motive in serving, in helping the world. So these great 6 qualities, whoever possesses is called Bhagavan or Bhagavati. Ashtadasha Adhyayane. There are 18 chapters in Bhagavad-Gita. 18 is such a great number because if you add 8 plus 1, it becomes 9. And numerologically, it is a very successful number. So to that, Bhagavad-Gita, Mother, who can dispel the problems of the darkness of the world and the ignorance of our mind and intellect. So to such mother, we salute and we move on. So Bhagavad Gita, there are 5Gs, this phone these days is 5G, so it can be learned by surrendering, by saluting to Mother Gita and Father Govinda, Krishna, and the Guru who teaches, and the group discussion. So what you all come together every day, every week, and then sometimes the help of the current availability on Google or internet. So you should not underestimate the knowledge which we acquire, but it has to be through a proper channel. So we learn anything through 4 quotes. 1 quote from Acharya, second, with self-effort, third, from the peers, and fourth, with time. The world, the time, the life teaches us. And this helps us to act in today's world, Gita, in today's action. And to remember this in every action that we perform, Gita, in thought and action. And that's being sent today onwards, another for about 2 years, Gita in text and audio, led by Vaishali and the team. For this, we have to give in first to take after. So Gita means give in first and take after. When we surrender ourselves, giving means what? Surrendering means what? Here, having an open mind, Then we will learn and Gita will teach us. The grandeur of Gita is, it is inscribed by Ganesha. Ganesha was a scribe. Described by Vedavyasa. Enquired by Dhritarashtra. Enjoyed by Sanjaya. There was a deal between Ganesh Maharaj and Vyasa Maharshi. Vyasa, sage, wanted to dictate because, it's 100,000 verses in Mahabharata. And he wanted to dictate without an interruption. And for that, you needed a scribe. And there was none other than Ganesha. So when Ganesha was approached, Ganesha said to Vyasa Maharshi, you have to dictate without taking a break because I'm very busy. People may call me. And today we called all of a sudden at 2 p.m. on Sunday. So they said, Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. So he has to attend to us. So you have to dictate without taking a break. And then Vyasa Maharshi also made a deal that you have to scribe, you have to inscribe. Without understanding, you cannot go forward. You have to understand every word and verse I say, and then you have to put it into writing. Then once in a while, Vyasa Maharshi would throw in a very difficult verse. It's not that it is impossible to understand for Ganesha, but he would had to give a thought. So he needed to give it a thought to understand that verse. So sometimes here and there, you will see those difficult verses. Otherwise, most of the verses, once you know a little bit of Sanskrit, once you start reading, and once you learn from few teachers, you have to study Gita for yourself. You have to inquire for yourself. You have to contemplate for yourself. So the inquiry was by Dhritarashtra, the very first verse, and then Sanjaya narrates, enjoying it. Inquired by Arjuna, imparted by Sri Krishna. The questioning of Arjuna, the 7 reverent questions, as Swami Bodhananda says, and the very important answers by Krishna, witnessed by Hanuman on the flag of the chariot of Arjuna, and practiced by wise men. Gita, the song celestial, for all of us, it's a life's manual. When you buy a gadget, for some of us laymen, we need a manual to understand. So Gita is a manual which comes with this life for us. To know the life, to know the self, to see the world and to see the Lord. Reader write, singer chant, listener learn Gita, my friend. Because it shall enrich your mind, it shall unfold the world. The song of Gita is to enjoy, and the singer of Gita is an envoy. Envoy means messenger. So I am one of those messengers that I am bringing this great text to you. Gita has 700 verses. It's called Gita Saptashati. And why 700? We live only 7 days a week. There is no 8th day to live. Sunday, starting with Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 7 days. There is no 8th day. And it's hundreds of 7 days, hundreds of weeks we live. So that's why these 700 verses for our life. And it's a dialogue, samvada. At the end of each chapter, the tradition is to say, Om Tassaditi Srimad Bhagavad-Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. So this Yoga Shastra, Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvada. So Vada means it's fighting. It's a verbal exchange. Pravada means, and Vivada means it is a senseless, useless fighting, talking to each other baselessly. And Samvada means there is a great match in the frequency of the teacher and the taught. And what are the references for this Bhagavad Gita? It's not Krishna's own dogma. The Upanishads, Vedanta, which comes from Vedas, and then Brahma Sutras, and the vision of many rishis. ऋषिभिर् बहुधा गीतं छन्दोभिर्विविधैः पृथक् ब्रह्मसूत्रपदैश्चैव हेतुभिर् विनिश्चितैः. So this is what is said in 13th chapter by Sri Krishna himself. Oh Arjuna, I'm teaching all these, and the references are these 3. And it is so useful for our daily inner struggle, the antar madhana we go through due to our pravritti, and also vyavaharika bahya prapancha interaction. That's in our vritti and vocation. And in this, we experience many aspects and facets of human life in this world of plurality, and we get a chance to see the beauty of Almighty. And where does this begin? This begins in Kurukshetra, Dharmakshetra. And the very first verse is asked by Dhritarashtra. Vaishalaji, can you chant, please?
धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय.
Who Sanjaya? Dhritarashtra asks. In that field of Dharmakshetra, the field of righteousness, Kurukshetra, the field which belongs to this Kuru clan, and what happened between the two armies which were so inquisitive to fight against each other. And who are those two? Mamakaha, my own people, and Pandavaha, Panduraja's sons. So here itself, you can see Dhritarashtra's raga and dvesha, the passion and aversion, the love and hatred towards his own sons and Pandu's sons. But there is a little different inner meaning in this. Dhritarashtra asked. It apparently looks so straightforward. But this is the fight which goes within us in this world every single day. Kurukshetra and Dharmakshetra. Dharmakshetra, the field of righteousness. So wherever you are, whichever profession you are in, whichever vocation you are in whichever country you are in. And Kurukshetra, the workplace. And this body also, Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra means, Kuru means action. The field of action is this body. This body, mind, and intellect is Kurukshetra and Dharmakshetra. And we have Kauravas within us and Pandavas within us. The 5 sense organs and 5 organs of action. 5 organs of action and 5 organs of perception are the Pandavas. And Kauravas, so many vices, so many thoughts, so many interactions that come our way. And that we need to ask every single day. Dhritarashtra in us should ask Sanjaya, who is in us, hey, what happened today between my organs of action and perception when interacting with the plurality of world in today's life? So Ahalya Bai, when she was interested in reading, studying Bhagavad-Gita, she calls a Pandit. And when Pandit starts chanting Bhagavad-Gita, she stops at very first line. Kurukshetre, Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yutsavaha, Mamaka Pandavas Chaiva, Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Before even Panditji finishes this verse, she stops. Stop, I don't understand entire Bhagavad Gita. So Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, if you rearrange the order, Kshetre, Dharmam Kuru. So whichever place, workplace you are at, whichever country you live in, and with whichever fields of action you interact, fields of action, body, mind, and intellect. With this body, mind, and intellect, with other body, mind, and intellects. Dharmam Kuru, do what is right. So this itself is our dharma. So it starts with dharma and then ends with the word mama. We'll come to that towards the end. So what is good for the world and what is right for the people in a given time and place is what is called dharma. And Kshetra is a field of action. Our world is our perception. The act of perfection is always in a contextual projection. Dharma upholds the world. Karma propels the people. Kurukshetra is us and is within us as body, mind, and intellect complex. Body is a chariot. Mind is the reins held by the charioteer. Senses are the horses running after the sense objects, the roads. And this is what is said in Kathopanishad. And that is the whole idea of the chariot, charioteer, teacher, and the taught in the midst of two armies. In this world of plurality, we witness the diversity with many a personality, and the personalities can be demonic, human, and divine. Pandavas are 5 organs of action and senses of perception. Guided by Krishna, the intellect as a charioteer. Kauravas are hundreds of our desires, shades of lust, anger, greed, jealousy, ego, and pride, anchored by the ignorant. Who is that ignorant? Dhritarashtra, the blind king. Bhishma, Drona, Krupa, Karna, Duryodhana, Dushasana, Vikarna, Shakuni, Shalya, Ashwathama, Jayadratha. And on the other side, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, Satyaki, Abhimanyu, and sons of Draupadi, Drishtadyumna, and Shikhandi. Each one, all these, we come across all these people, all these kind of personalities, each one with their own agenda, each one taking a side in the war, each one ready to fight with might and ready to face their own fate. In the midst of warfield, seeing gurus and grandsire, friends and cousins on the other side, kith and kin on either side. Arjuna had nervous breakdown. In the chariot, helplessly, he sat down. Luckily, there was Krishna. He was looking at Krishna and he was looking up to Krishna. So we have to be Arjuna when we are in a problem, when we are in a tussle, when we are helpless. Seek the knowledge like Arjuna. Make the pledge like Partha. When the body is tired, when the mind is blinded, when the intellect is clouded, when overwhelmed with nervous breakdown in this stressful world, we will go through these phases of life. Some ups, some downs. Life is like an EKG. If it's a straight line, there is no life. Learn to bow down to the Lord as did Arjuna in the warfield. Cogitate and meditate, moderate and modulate. Perform the penance to dispel the ignorance. Follow the Lord and win over the world. Allow the Lord to act through you indeed, as did Arjuna in every deed. So this mentor-mentee relationship is very important. And when Arjuna was like that, Krishna starts the teaching with 2 great verses. They are like whiplashes. They're like whiplashes. Vaishalaji, if you're comfortable, you could chant these 2.
कुतस्त्वाकश्मलमिदं विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टमं सर्गम् अकीर्तिकरमर्जुन.
Yeah. Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupasthitam anaryajustam Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupasthitam anaryajustam akirtikaram Arjuna. Where did this peril come upon you? In this very, very important situation. And this is not Arya Lakshana. This doesn't befit you, O Arjuna. This doesn't lead you to Swarga. This doesn't lead you to heavenly abodes. And this doesn't give you any fame. So this doesn't befit you. Klaibyam asmagamappartha naitatvayupapadyate kshudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktvottishta parantapa. So give up this meekness, give up this weakness. This doesn't befit you, O Arjuna. Get up and be ready to fight. If you want to, you can chant again.
क्लैभ्यं मास्मगमः पार्थ नैतत्त्वयुपपद्यते क्षुद्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यं त्यक्त्वोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप.
So these two verses are very profound verses. And this inspired Swami Vivekananda. And the source of these two verses are also drawn from Kathopanishad. Uttisthata, Jagrata, Prapyavara, Nibodhata. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. A free translation of this by Swami Vivekananda. In the second chapter, while giving that very important message, it actually tells us the teaching begins, and Shankaracharya writes his commentary from 11th verse of second chapter onwards. Ashocyananvashocastvam prajnavadamscha bhashase gataso nagatasomscha nanashochanti panditaha. O Arjuna, you are grieving about something which is not grief-worthy. It is not worthy of any grief. Because the wise do not lament upon what happened and what's going to happen. They live in present. So that no worry, a don't worry message comes from Bhagavad-Gita from beginning till the end and with emphasis in the middle. You see that Mate Vyadha Macha Vimodha Bhava in the 11th chapter. And the 66th verse of 18th chapter. Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Do you want to chant that, please? Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Vraja Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Shuchaha. You're muted.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
Ma Shuchaha, grieve not, worry not. So Hakuna Matata message is what is given by Krishna. And how to interact with the world. Sometimes we have to withdraw ourselves. Taking a step backwards is actually moving forwards by many steps. Taking a step backwards is leaping forward by many steps. Like the tortoise, yada samharate chayam kurmonga neva sarvashah indriyani indriyatebhyaha tasya prajna pratishtita. So we have to be the change we wish to see in the world. And how to perform this? Perform this with an attitude of detachment. Engage fully and detach completely. That's the toughest job. That is like a surgeon when he's doing surgery very, very intuitively, very intensely, and very, very intricately, but yet not tainted by any of blood. There's no drop of blood which taints the surgeon's hands. So that's like when you're cutting a jackfruit, if you don't apply oil to your palms and hands before, then it'll all stick to you. So Ramakrishna Paramhamsa says, anoint the oil first and then deal with the jackfruit. So wear the gloves and then do the surgery. So Mukta Sangaha, Anaham Vadi. At the same time, that zeal and enthusiasm. And for what? For the good of the world, Loka Sangraha. Then inspire others. So be the role models and take up the role models from our own life. Yadyadacharati shresthaha tatta devetaro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanuvartate. And these role models are there in every field, every field. The field of teachers, the field of rulers, the field of rulers and traders, in the field of labors. We need all these four kinds: thinkers, teachers, brahmana, rulers, leaders, kshatriya, traders and dealers, vaishya, laborers and workers, shudra. We may have this trait a little more than the other trait in us, or we may have a majority of these traits in us. But we go through all these. We go through the labor as a student. We go through the trader as by selling ourselves when we are writing our own resume. And then we are the rulers of our own life, our own body and mind and intellect. And we have to give a thought about ourselves. You are the king and queen of your own body, mind, and intellect and life. No one has control over yourself. If you give that remote control to someone, then the problems begin. So, chaturvanyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha brahmana kshatriya visham. So, Shudranam cha parantapa, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Visa, Sudra, O parantapa. These are created by me for the society to go on. Otherwise, there will be too many chiefs and no Indians. That's how we say in US. So then we have to be Pandits. We have to be Pandits. So to be in that state of that wisdom, we have to develop this attitude of seeing that consciousness in every being. So, Sama means Brahman. Brahman means consciousness. Consciousness. So, that consciousness is in every animal, every being. Then we have respect for others, whether animate or inanimate. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Sunichaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. Whether Brahmin or cow or elephant or dog or a great Pandit, we have to see that consciousness, that Krishna consciousness is in there, and then deal with them with that reverence, with that respect. So you have to give each one the desire, the deserving respect. It's not that, so you treat everybody equally. You have to treat everybody respectfully, giving them their own place, recognizing their own place. So that's very important. It's not like, so you wear the chappals and then you go to the temple or you go to your own house. You don't walk all the way, into the kitchen with the chappals which you were roaming around on the road, or you won't carry them on your head. So you have to give each one their place. Then samatvam means equanimity and also equity. If you want to give that equal importance, just like this, you have provided the same stool for all the three to watch through the fence what's going on outside. But that's called equality. But what is the equity? Equity is giving the more for those who need more. So that is samatvam. So samatvam is having that equipoise, having that equanimity, dealing with equity, and dealing optimally interacting, optimally treating, optimally managing. Optimal. This is the word which Swami Bodhananda likes very much. It is optimal interaction. So that is the right in that given context, situation, time, and place to the respective people. So that is samatvam. So samatvam yoga uchyate. Then we have to contemplate. We have to contemplate upon the meditation which some of us do sitting on yoga mat. We have to take it to the office seat and the world outside. So that mentality and that state of our mind, which we try to inculcate in our meditation, we have to take it outside for next 23 hours and 40 minutes if you meditate for 20 minutes. So we deal with so many people. Suhran mitraryudasena madhyasthadveshya bandhushu sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhirvisishyate. So seeing that consciousness, seeing that spark, seeing the importance, it is respecting every kind of labor, every person, dignity of labor, while we see the division of labor. So we see great friends, and we see some best friends, and we see some just friends. So there are friends who are the best friends, and there are friends who are just friends. Udasena, the one who are neutral. Madhyastha, the mediators. Dvesha, someone who hates us for just because they don't like our nose. What can we do? So Bandhushu, the relatives, blood relatives. Sadhu, the great people. And then Papeshu, those, Papa means not only sin, but those who have issues, those who have problems, those who have difficulties. So all these, so you have to recognize them and interact them accordingly. Then people approach us in many different ways. There are very knowledgeable people. There are people who just want to know about us. And there are people who really need something from us. And those who are in real difficulty. So these, we have to deal with them accordingly as well. So Chaturvedha bhajante mam jana sukriti norjuna arto jignyasurartharthi jnani cha bharatarshava. And then in our Puranas, these Artha like Draupadi or Gajendra. Then Artharthi, the one who wants a higher position like Dhruva. Then Jignasus, just like Vishwamitra, who wanted to know what it was. And Jnani, like Vasishtha Maharshi and all. And then all this is easy to say, but difficult to practice. But Abhyasa is a practice. That is very important. Abhyasena ta kaunteya vairagyena cha gruhyate. So with a sense of deep dispassion, because anchoring to something higher, we can let go the lower. We can let go what is less important by anchoring to higher something more important. So in the 8th chapter, we see this abhyasa, stress. So also in 6th chapter. But 8th chapter also gives a glimpse of how to leave this world. While rest of the chapters deal with how to live in this world, 8th chapter deals with how to leave the world gracefully. Then 9th chapter, so the Lord is so happy with us with whatever little we give. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyapaghritam ashnami prayatatmanaha. A leaf or a fruit or a flower or just do some abhisheka with waters. So that is when it comes to a ritual and worship. But when it comes to practical world, it is so important that somebody does help us, somebody does good to us. Just a thank you card, patram, that's good enough, a letter. Pushpam, sending some flowers on Mother's Day, so to mother, greeting her, talking to her, or sending a basket of fruits to your colleagues on an important day, Christmas Day, or some water, providing some water. So, or patram means tips also. Someone who is serving you may not be happy with the thank you card, but maybe with some tip. So patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, yome bhaktya prayachati. And in our Puranas also we have these great examples. Patram, Tulsi Patra, between Satyabhama and Rukmini story. Pushpam, Gajendra, Amukta Malyada, so that Goda Devi, and Phalam Shabari, and Toyam Rantidev. So these are the examples that we see in our Puranas and in our daily life as well. So each of us are unique. We have to remember. We have to remember. And there is that divine spark in us. And that divine spark is nothing but the consciousness and that which belongs to that Almighty. Yadyad vibhuti matsatvam shrimadurjitam eva va tattadevavagachatvam mama tejomsa sambhavam. So this ability of mind to impart this knowledge to you is not mine. It is a vibhuti of that Almighty Himself. So that uniqueness. And when you see this grossly in some people, like you may see this, great the sporting ability in Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, and Mo in Dhoni and all others. Or you may see this great scientific mind in Einstein and then other Nobel laureates. And you may see this great IT knowledge in Bill Gates or the EV vehicle knowledge in Tesla, Elon Musk. So all that is the glory of the God. Then when you have an open mind, then you will see that beauty in people whom we think so-called less important. So there is a spark in everyone. So, and then these are thousands of people when we see, and then once we open this window, Aneka Bahu Dharavaktra Netram Pashyami Tvam Sarvatonantarupam Nanto na Madhyam na Punastavadim Pashyami Vishveshwara Vishwarupa. So we see this. Divyamalyambaradharam, Divyagandhanulepanam, Sarvascharyamayam Devam, Anantam Visvato Mukham. And then when we see this, Almighty everywhere, the 10th chapter is an audio version of Glory of the Lord, seeing the God in this world grossly. And 11th chapter is seeing the world in the God, Vishwarupa, a video version. Vishwarupa Sandarshan. And when we see that, once that vision comes, then there is no hatred towards anyone. Advesta sarva bhutanam maitra karuna evacha. No hatred, no animosity, no enviousness. And maitri, the friendship. And karuna, compassion toward those who need. And we have to respect each one's opinion. So everyone may not be equally knowledgeable. Everyone may have their own agenda, their own history, or their own problems. We do not know their childhood. We do not know their mentality. We do not know what's what they are going through that day. So some like to meditate. Some like to analyze and discuss. And then some, they just express in their work. Dhyanena atmani pashyanti kechidatmanam atmana anye samkhena yogena karma yogena chapare. So we have to respect each one. And then the entire Bhagavad-Gita is a combination of 4 yogas: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Dhyana Yoga. So if this Chapati Yoga, one of our teachers, Sister Kameshwara Garu used to say, Chapati Yoga. So chapati, the flour you use is karma part, and the water you add to that wheat flour is bhakti. And you put it on fire, the jnana, and then give some time, dhyana. Then comes a beautiful puffed up chapati. So Bhagavad Gita is combination of all these 4. And these 4 are the 4 aspects of the prism. The path of action, path of devotion, and path of knowledge. And so these are the 3 sides. And the base is the meditation. And the apex is the divinity, the goal. So when You see through one yoga, the other yogas are so revealed to you. So it is crystal clear, even though there is a division. First 6 chapters, Karma Yoga, second 6, Bhakti Yoga, and third 6, Jnana. There is no distinct division, but there is an overlap, and you can see one through the other. And then we see 3 modes of interaction in people we deal with. Once we understand this, we try to understand ourselves. We try to know ourselves more when we analyze these 3 qualities: Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, Tamo Guna. Sattva is a positive state of mind, pure, clear, a divine mode. A Rajas is that mixed, selfish, controlling, agitated mind. There is a lot of selfishness. There is a lot of passion. And tamas is a negative mood or mode, which is impure and can be demonic. So, but we need all these 3 in certain proportions. It's very dynamic. It's very dynamic. So we need all combinations and permutations of these 3, but we need more of sattva and some of rajas and a little of tamas. Because for sleeping, you want a good sleep, you need to be in the mode of tamas. And during a day, Monday to Friday from 8 to 5, you need a lot of rajas. But at the same time, with the background of sattva, sattvic mode. And we see the people with this kind of nature, personality, who come in our way. While Hanuman was crossing the ocean, Mainaka, a sattvic interruption, comes. And Hanuman deals with it in a very sattvic way. And Surasa, who wanted to swallow Hanuman, is Rajasic. And Hanuman uses his tactics. He becomes big and he becomes small. So we have to know when to become big and then when to become small in our interaction. And then there are certain things, there are no-nos. We have to kill those ill and bad habits to move further, to cross this ocean of samsara. And we have to remember that with AI, we can achieve so much artificial intelligence. There is intelligence, but there is something which is our own, that Atman, which no machine can replace, no other person can replace. And that consciousness, that emotion, which is within us, cannot be expressed by any artificial intelligence. And that consciousness, that divinity is in everyone. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishtaha mattasmritirjnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvai ahameva vedya. So in 15th chapter, Lord says that I am seated in everyone's heart. And he repeats again in the 18th chapter, the same. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. And when we come to 16th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, the 3 A's are thrown by the Lord, with which we can win this game of life, of cards. And those 3 A's are abhaya, fearlessness, ahimsa, non-injury, whether physical or verbal or mental. But ahimsa means all-inclusiveness as well. And asanga, nature. Asanga is detachment from attachments. So that's fully engaged, yet completely detached. Fully engaged in the work, yet completely detached. Then in the 17th chapter, tapas, penance is mentioned. So physical, vocal, or verbal tapas, and then mental tapas. So we have to do the tapas, penance, to be perfect. So practice makes man perfect, and perfect practice makes any man or woman even more perfect. So the world is there and we are here. We have to watch the world, watch the people all around. There are friends acting like foes and foes acting like friends. We have to discriminate. If we are nice, they may think we are weak. If we are stern, they may think we are harsh. If we do not object, people may say we are weak. And if we argue, they may say we are stubborn. If we question, they say we are shameless. If we don't, they may say we are senseless. So it is the nature of the people. Let them think, let them talk, but we have to be ourselves and we have to live true to ourselves because there is a higher self and there is a higher goal. There is much more in store. We have to play our part well, but should not quit at all. So whatever we do in life, there is always room for improvement. They say kaizen, no? Kaizen in Japanese way. So little advancement in every part of life. Then, however well we perform and exercise, there is always someone to criticize. And for wherever we work, my friend, there is always a jerk. And there's always someone to praise, and there is always a chance to rise. And there is always someone with that special spark that they'll ignite us with enthusiasm and joy. So before we begin anything, we have to pray, plan, and prepare. And while we are working, show our finesse and focus. Because yoga karma sukausalam. Then after we are done with the thing, when it's well done, forget all and worry about nothing. That's very important. So place it at the feet of the Lord. And when you do not see a way, but sway not, live not in dismay. Don't you ever give up and go away. And we need a good vision and we need an action. Both are very important. Both are a must for success. Vision without action is daydreaming. Action without vision is a nightmare. So we need Krishna to give us the vision and we need Arjuna to do the action. So there should be a Krishna, the intellect within us, and there should be an Arjuna, the body, mind, ready to act in this field. Vision is a divine grace and action is our human force. A chariot cannot move with only one wheel in effect. With no human effort, expect not any divine effect. And that's what the 18th chapter concludes with. Vaishaliji, the last. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruvanitir Matir Mama.
So wherever that Yogeshwara Krishna is, that great visionary, and wherever Partha, Arjuna, Dhanurdhari, the one who is ready to fight, I mean, Dhanurdhari means a doctor with a stethoscope, a surgeon with a scalpel, and an engineer with an instrument, an IT specialist with just, so a laptop or something to click. So that's where Shri, the prosperity, Vijaya, the success, Bhuti, all the opulence and the right justice is there, says Sanjaya. So Mama is the last word. And then the very first shloka begins with Dharma. Vaishaliji once more.
Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetaayutsavaha Mamakah Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
And then we shall say this Shanti mantra and then conclude. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That is vast Bhagavad-Gita. And this little class, an intro to that. And then from that, this little talk came. And even this little is enough for us to succeed. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. And there is so much more to learn from that great text. So when time permits, we'll talk more. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Z. Thanks for condensing the entire Bhagavad Gita so meaningfully in such a short time, and showing us there's so much reassurance in going through the Gita and teachings of Gita. I'm very thankful to you, and I ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. And I express my gratitude again, and gratitude for all the participants who have joined today.